Karoline Leavitt, his press secretary, the woman who keeps insisting Trump didn't draw this or sign this in 2003, she was 5 years old. She was too young even for Jeffrey Epstein in 2000. Did she know?
Throughout the long and storied history of the American presidency, the White House has stood as a symbol of dignity, a fortress of decorum where global crises are handled with steady hands and quiet resolve. We remember the stoic composure of Eisenhower, the effortless charisma of Kennedy, and the polished confidence of Reagan. Whatever their politics, they understood one essential truth. The office was bigger than the individual. They were caretakers of an institution rooted in tradition, responsibility, and restraint. But this week, the People's House felt less like the anchor of global democracy and more like the backdrop of a chaotic reality show, a spectacle unfolding in real time. Allies watched. Critics reacted. And Americans were left asking a simple question: who is actually in control? The spark that ignited this latest episode wasn't a geopolitical crisis or a bruising policy battle. It was a late-night monologue. Jimmy Kimmel, long a sharp critic, once again stepped into the role of cultural commentator, highlighting the surreal moments that continue to blur the line between governance and entertainment.
He has no idea what he's talking about. The decision to fire Jimmy Kimmel and to cancel his show came from executives at ABC. That has now been reported, and I can assure you it did not come from the White House, and there was no pressure given from the President of the United States.
He didn't merely deliver punchlines this week, he launched a sustained, methodical takedown. In a segment that quickly went viral, he zeroed in on Donald Trump's inner circle, taking particular aim at 28-year-old Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt. The critique was sharp, layered, and relentless, portraying an operation riddled with contradictions and amateur missteps. The fallout was immediate. Trump responded publicly, in a reaction that many observers described as less calculated rebuttal and more emotional eruption, a moment that seemed to erode what remained of the traditional presidential facade. The controversy unfolded against the backdrop of an image that felt almost surreal. A video began circulating online showing large black garbage bags being tossed from a second-story window of the White House residence. The optics were startling, a scene that looked more like political satire than the seat of American executive power. In a single clip, the symbolism spoke louder than any monologue could.
You know, it's different when you do it every night and you get it little by little. I mean, just yesterday, there's this video of what seemed to be garbage bags being thrown out of the window of the Lincoln bedroom. That's the White House. The official response from the White House said it was maintenance work being done while Trump was off on one of his many golf weekends. But Trump is even contradicting his own White House.
There was no visible maintenance crew, no clear explanation, just trash bags flying from the Lincoln bedroom window, an image that felt more like a college prank than the seat of executive power. Jimmy Kimmel wasted no time turning it into a symbol of what he called a broader decline in decorum. "We used to have state dinners," he joked. "Now we have a landlord dispute on Pennsylvania Avenue." The punchline landed because the optics were undeniable. But the garbage bags were just the setup. Kimmel's sharper focus was Karoline Leavitt, the young press secretary tasked with defending the chaos. He mocked the irony of Trump lecturing military leaders on fitness, then highlighted uncomfortable moments where Trump publicly praised Leavitt's appearance instead of her qualifications. The tone shifted when Kimmel addressed the fatal shooting of ICU nurse Alex Petty, accusing the administration of distorting the narrative. By the end of the segment, and Trump's angry media response, the feud felt bigger than comedy. For critics, it underscored a presidency increasingly defined by spectacle over substance.